Turn that back.
We're live.
We are live. All right.
We're back at it.
Let me just bring this on my page, and then we can get this party started.
Excited tonight. We finally have the YouTube channel working correctly.
We think.
You know, you're absolutely right. Once we post this video tonight, we may have audio everywhere. You know, I just hope we don't get kicked off of YouTube for copyright infringement.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, people starting to check in. We're getting ready here.
Yeah, going through the list here, making sure I send it to everyone, as well as...
One of these days, we're going to have this all ready to go. So when we go live and the music's out, bam!
That's never going to happen. We've probably done about 60 of these, and it hasn't happened yet. What makes you think that's going to happen in the future? That's not going to happen.
60? We're way over 60.
Well, we had a year. We had a year when? Oh, it was Justin's year.
Yeah,
but Justin's no longer with us.
But the show officially is we're almost to a year and a half.
Year and a half, right?
Yeah,
not bad. And people are still watching us. Why?
I know, and I get excited because it starts to grow, and I'm like, I don't even know these people. They're gonna be like, these morons.
Yeah. Oh man,
I'm gonna have to look back to see when the first time I came on was.
What do you want, like a cake or something?
I do.
I think Elwood wanted something. I'm like, dude, you're not even on the show anymore.
I would love a cake.
That's what ice cream cake.
Maybe
well, your wife was excellent at the birthday cakes, so she was always on point.
She was.
So,
all right. So, David, put the solitaire away.
It's away. It's locked up. I didn't think you'd see that.
Nice job, Todd. Way to call him out. And welcome to the Probably Wrong podcast. My name is Tony Furtado. To my left, your right, Mikey Snellgrove. And then to his left, your far right, Diamond Dave DeShillo. Every week I get like one syllable wrong.
Yeah.
I got the O in there.
It's the same syllable.
DeShillo. All right. One of these days I'll get it. All right.
I'm going to nail it.
So we had, I just opened up a coffee, so I'm ready to get this party started. We had a pretty, Tina's complaining. Tina, worry about the cake that he's going to get for his 1-year anniversary.
Like I said, you should have stuck with Robitaille, because we never have a problem saying
Robitaille, Diamond Dave Robitaille. DDR. All right, so let's go start with this past weekend's football games, NFL. First game.
Right into it. The Kansas City Chiefs. Well,
a little bit of a boring game.
Yeah, it started out great. I mean, we're looking forward. Mahomes doing Mahomes things. But what got me is, and I think we were chatting about it a little bit earlier, is what the hell happened to their offense in the second half?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs. What it reminded me of, and to cross sports here, is how last year and the years prior we used to get frustrated with the Celtics because at the end of the game they let leads slip away because they would play to not lose the game. And that's what I felt watching this. Mahomes wasn't firing. It was just run, punt. Run, punt.
I felt like they already had the game in hand. I felt like they put Baltimore away early, and they just kind of cruised through.
Yeah.
Because Baltimore just did nothing to... And they're talking about how, Lamar Jackson, he threw the one pass and caught it himself and how amazing it was.
That was pretty cool to see, though.
It was cool to see.
Yeah,
it was effort.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like some dynamic play that the Ravens ran that,
No, it was pretty athletic, because the balls get batted like that all the time, and it's very rare to see.
It's a fluke play. The offense, Baltimore's offense is terrible. Talk about, like we complained about Matt Patricia running a terrible offense.
That's how I just cracks every...
Baltimore, terrible. With the exception of a few big plays, they have nothing.
But what I want to say is, to debate your point where they were in cruise control, they really weren't in cruise control because 2 touchdowns got wiped off the board, luckily. I'm sorry, that punch-out, we can sit here now and say, wow, what a great defensive play, but they were right down the field. They were very close to having another touchdown. And then Zay Flowers, his total meltdown, it was just very close to them blowing the game because they weren't putting any offense. You know, you're in that position. You're in the AFC Championship. Your pedal should be to the floor that whole game.
I don't want to talk about the second game yet, but you watch how the Lions came out with an offense that was well scripted, well designed, and you compare that to what the Baltimore Ravens had. They had nothing. It's like, Lamar, make some big plays for us. That was their whole offense.
And
we got Sean chiming in here tonight. Chiefs, they prove every week, Sean, that they do not suck. And Patrick Mahomes...
I mean, they're not the old Kansas City Chiefs, but a lot of our Patriots titles, as my voice cracks, we weren't great either. When we beat the Rams the second time, that team wasn't great. So, whatever, you just keep winning, and here we are.
Any way you can.
And Paul... So I'll agree with you there, Paul Connors here. For the guys on YouTube, we got the comments here. It says, Lamar did Dak Prescott and Josh Allen things. I think he did Prescott things, but Josh Allen, I mean, he'll blow the game, but he still has a...
Lamar did Lamar things.
Yeah.
This is what he does in the playoffs. So
You're right.
He does not play well when it's the big game.
Right, but watching that offense, do you think offensively they're like a well-planned out team? Like, no. I don't watch a lot of Baltimore Ravens football, but I'm watching them. I'm like, dude, this offense sucks. It's almost like backyard football.
It's always gone. Their offense revolves solely around Lamar and how Lamar plays. When Lamar plays good, like we saw last week, they win. When Lamar cracks, they lose. And that's why we had said for week in and week out, until he starts winning, you can't really get behind these guys because they don't have a team constructed around him that if he's struggling, that someone's going to pick up the pieces. Gus Edwards gets off because Lamar is getting all the attention.
One thing I noticed in this game was, compared to the Houston game, was when Lamar ran, the Chiefs' defense is so fast.
Yeah.
They catch him, no problem. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get the edge. He had no breakaway speed at all against the Chiefs, where against Houston he could run all over them.
Because the Chiefs were an underrated defense this year. The Chiefs got all their regular season wins basically through their defense. They had a rough year. They went through a lot of trials and tribulations, but that defense is what got them the wins.
And that's just because you got Mahomes and Kelsey. Everyone's talking about them all the time. No one wants to talk about Chris Jones and anyone else on that defense. If you ask anyone around here to name some of the players on that defense,
other than Jones, no. I mean, the other big guy there, down and out for the Super Bowl.
ACL.
Yeah, 7 sacks this season. Had a big strip sack this year. That's gonna hurt, but. And then just their defenses. That's what I was saying last week. That if this is their Super Bowl because their defense is going to, I think, have a pretty decent game controlling Brock Purdy. So this was their game. This was their defense coming out party. And what Paul's saying here to get to his Flowers blew that game. Man, did that guy have 3 bad plays in a row? And the third play wasn't even that. It's just when he slammed his hands on the bench and split his fingers open.
Just an immature child, right?
Oh yeah,
immature.
And I don't want to give him any excuses. Rookie,
yeah,
had everything here. He's going to learn. Hopefully he learns from this because he is a hell of a wide receiver.
Hold your composure,
he's the only one other than those players that showed up for him.
Right.
The only one that could get open.
But I think the offense, I think something has to go on. Who calls plays for him? Is it Harbaugh?
I think it's Harbaugh that's always called the plays.
The offense doesn't do Lamar Jackson any favors. I mean, it's just, it looks like we're playing backyard football.
What's Paul from West Bridgewater saying here? I heard you on the radio.
What Paul's saying is he's like an NFL running back stuck in a quarterback position, and that's something that I said years ago.
But I can't validate that.
Maybe that's why they don't run better plays or have a better script because he can't handle it.
But to say that Lamar is that's just. The guy can sling the ball. He's done it all year.
Yeah.
He can throw, but I mean,
maybe he can't read defense. But you know what? You can make it a little bit easier on him.
And again, when you saw it, you guys watched it this week. He would take the second read. He would step back. They beat it into our heads. He would reset the pocket. The guy was doing the right things. The right plays weren't there. Kansas City smothered them. And I think what he was trying to do is, I honestly think from this game, he went against his normal game script. Because I think he wanted to throw the ball, and I think think he wanted to show everybody that he could throw the ball, and he was hesitant on the run. And I think Romo even pointed that out on the broadcast that he looked hesitant to run the ball.
But I said it when we were, talking back and forth during the game. He needed to rush for 150 yards for them to win.
100%.
And he didn't take off. And when he did take off, they were right there to catch him.
And when he did, it seems like he took off like a few seconds too late.
Yeah.
You know?
Waited a little too long.
Yeah, where he maybe got in his own head a little bit.
And I really think that's what it was. I think he wanted to win the game passing. I think he wanted to really, like I just said, show he listens to people. Lamar is, if you've seen anything with Lamar, he listens to the noise.
Yeah, it's too bad.
That's too bad.
Because I like him, and I'd love to see him get over the hump, but you watch this, and you're like, I don't know.
I just don't think he's going to.
I don't know if, because you know what? We're talking about a year that Cincinnati's not even in it.
Yeah.
You know, I could see Josh Allen getting a little bit better, but from what I see from Lamar, I'm like, yeesh, still got a ways to go. Probably going to win MVP.
He's definitely going to win MVP.
But still got a ways to go.
He can have the MVP,
Yep. All right, so that's game number one. A little bit of a boring game.
That second half definitely was boring in the fact that, if you started to get behind the Chiefs, it got very boring. Baltimore screwing it up was a little bit of an excitement, I think.
Game number two, not so boring. Actually pretty exciting. A very good football game.
And it
was.
Very good football game to watch. If you didn't have
the Detroit Lions picked like I did. Everything on Detroit Lions, everything on Amon St. Ron, they're catching a touchdown, which he didn't do.
So
Dan Campbell, I just can't. I can't get into this game without discussing Dan Campbell and his idiocracy. I understand that that's what got them there, right? That's what everyone's saying. That's what got them there. Going through it on fourth down. That's what you go.
Even after the game, he's like,
he doubled down
and lost. And that's not the mentality you have to have in an NFC championship
Exactly.
game.
You can do that all year. You can get by against Seattle. You can get by against all these teams. It doesn't matter because if you lose, you get to play another game.
Take the points. That's
when you play this. Exactly. You got to take whatever points. You're in a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Win or go home. You need to take the points and keep it going.
Especially when you have a big lead, and then they're going to be fighting against time. Just put the 3 points on the board.
The one year in the last 6 years that the Chiefs didn't go to the Super Bowl, they didn't take the points at the end of the half against the Bengals.
Yep.
They could have kicked the field goal and been up by way too many points.
Yeah.
And they end up losing.
Yeah.
And then Detroit, they could have kicked the field goal and put themselves up by, I think it was 10, wasn't it?
Yep.
And then he chose not to. Niners go down and score. Now it's 27-24, and he has a chance to tie the game, and he goes for
Wants nothing to do with it.
Now, so that first fourth down, I think we all can agree we hated it. You want to take the points, you want to go up. But that one I could almost forgive. The second one, when you're down 3, kick the field goal and the game's tied. That is really the one that's unforgivable. And then the fact that when you finally score, you kick an extra point. What are you doing? It's just now you want to kick it, Dan? Now.
If I was a Lions fan, I'd be really, really frustrated.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're playing men football.
Yeah.
And that is their philosophy. I don't know if it's just him or if it's the whole
analytics. So the analytics behind it, Tony, is they were 75% all year for fourth down. And from 40-plus yards, Bagley was, I think, it was a ridiculously low rate. I think it was like 40% or 30%. So they're like, well, we're going to go with the higher percentage.
Yeah.
If he had kicked the field goal the first time, you might not have had to kick that second field goal to tie the game.
Dave, I completely agree with you.
It may have already been tied, or you don't get that 50-yard pass that happened right after they stopped him.
Oh, you know what that reminded me of? So that pass reminded me of two. Reminded me of Seattle catching before they blew it in the end zone. Remember the big pass that they caught that bobbled around?
Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, and then they caught it, and then also reminded me of Edelman's catch against my Falcons. Like, just ridiculous catches, you know? Yeah, Jake, completely agree. Ruining the sport. And I think go ahead, Tony.
Not only are they ruining the sport, they're very, arrogant in, this is the way it is, this is how it's supposed to, but you just lost a game. It's got to be their way or the highway. Yep. And, I agree with Jacob. They are ruining the sport.
But I don't want to completely dismiss it, though. I do believe there is a place for analytics, but I believe it has to be an equal balance where your analytics can influence and predict certain things, but you've got the flow of the game is got to be what you go by.
At some point, common sense has to prevail.
Exactly.
Right? You can be analytic. All right, common sense says, analytics, I'm not going this route. I'm going to put them down 13. I'm going to keep the momentum. Once you give up the momentum in sports, it is very difficult to get back.
And they've on all platforms all week long, they've talked about analytics can't talk about momentum. You know?
I never even heard that. I didn't hear that. I just came up with that on my own.
What, momentum?
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear them talk about that. But
I have to bring up the other momentum killer for the Lions was Reynolds dropping. The one was kind of tough looking.
Yeah.
The other one, the third down play, hit him right in
the hands. Yeah.
No, it's like there are a few things to blame, Dave. You're absolutely right, but the glaring one is Dan Campbell. He should have never been put in that position in that game to do that. Now I understand he's an NFL wide receiver. He's played for many years. That is, at least the second one was a routine catch. But to me, I'm not going to let Campbell off the hook for this. No. He shouldn't have put the guys in that position.
I wonder if it's an organizational thing. Like if Alex Cora takes a pitcher out at 95 pitches after 5 1/3, that's really not Alex Cora making that. I wonder if the whole Lions organization feels that way.
I believe that's what it was, and that's, yeah.
They do, right? Because you probably wouldn't hire a guy that thinks like that if you don't think like that. So it's probably the whole organization that they sit down before, and this is what you do in this situation. And I don't know.
Can I just say one thing here? By looking at all these screens here, we look great tonight. This lighting is really,
we're getting there.
I kind of like this background better. I felt like that one was too dark.
I think in the summertime that one works because you can kind of see everything. And then when we're getting to these dark, gloomy, awful nights,
dark days of winter,
the shine, the gleam
over here too, so we can add some stuff.
Yeah, not much room, but figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find spots.
But I mean, if we to continue talking about the game, Brock Purdy.
No, Brock Purdy's a guy.
We all did the same thing.
Brock Purdy's a guy that saw the opening and ran.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yep.
Did it at the right time.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? The moment didn't get too big for him. Yeah, he doesn't make all the throws exactly the way we want him to, but he had 2 opportunities to run and did it.
He didn't even think twice. He just went.
I know you hate him, but he's a mediocre, he's a middle-of-the-road quarterback.
These are all, and he's smart. I'm not going to take that away from him because he had those holes and those things were wide open because of the elite talent out there.
Oh,
because you couldn't cover everybody.
Right. But Lamar Jackson, does he freeze and wait 2 seconds to make that run?
That's what he did.
Right?
Yep.
So we can say.
Hold on. To go against what you said. Granted, Lamar may freeze, but Lamar wasn't getting those holes because there's no elite talent all around.
Right.
To command the defense eyes and everywhere.
But you know what? That's what he has, and he made big plays.
Exactly.
He made big plays.
He did it. He brought it. Nick Foles brought it. I'm sorry, Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Now we'll probably talk Super Bowl in a minute. I feel like when the 49ers previously played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, 5 years ago maybe?
Yeah, they had a chance to win it.
They're up 10, and I feel like Shanahan got a little tight with Garoppolo. Like he didn't trust Garoppolo.
Garoppolo threw a bad ball to Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders was walk-in touchdown, and it was a miscue. It was all Garoppolo. He had time, And it was just Garoppolo kind of freezed up.
But I remember them being up 10. It was like run, pass, run, pass. And I think Shanahan kind of lost a little bit of faith, and they wanted to like kind of not lose the game.
He is a habitual Super Bowl loser.
All right. Well, let's see if he kind of
He's the Doc Rivers.
opens it up a little bit more this year, because like we said, it was second half, and you're up 10 on the Chiefs.
I just wonder if having Christian McCaffrey.
That's what I want to touch on. If you want to talk about studs,
Shanahan, like you said, he's a habitual loser in the big games, but maybe McCaffrey's that guy that's going to be like, just give me the ball.
you have Patrick Mahomes on one side, that's the difference maker, and then on that side you have Christian McCaffrey, who it seems like every play will just make something out of nothing. Like, he doesn't want to go down. The guy makes smart reads. The guy makes powerful reads. The guy makes skillful reads. The guy's grace. The guy, I mean, granted, if you played fantasy, you were all over McCaffrey for years, other than his injuries in Carolina. But talk about the evolution to what he's become.
Oh, stud, absolute stud.
Yeah,
Absolute stud.
You watch him run, and there's no hole, but he gets through it.
Right.
He it's just will. He doesn't want to go down.
Or he gets hit in the backfield, and it's instead of being -2 yards, he picks up a yard and a half.
But those are always. But as much as we praise those things and we want to see that, that's the reason he gets injured all the time.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Just keep it together for one more game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And then dump off little passes to Debo. He's another one that just makes things happen with his legs.
Yep. And Justin Elwood chimes in here. Oh no, that's Tony Martin. Yeah, we don't talk about those comments on the air.
They dominated fantasy football this year. I wonder if Belichick's going to be playing fantasy football, and if he's going to try to count his wins as wins towards the record, because it doesn't look like he's getting a job.
No, it's been kind of interesting for him.
And it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, the Falcons," but I go, "No, they made the right choice," and apparently the rest of the NFL did too.
Well, we don't know.
It's not over.
It's over. I mean, what's he going to do now? He's definitely too much pride now to go to Washington or Seattle. There's too much pride there to be like, oh, now you want me? I'm going to take a year off. He's not coaching next year.
Well, you take a year off. How many years do you have to live? I don't know if he can take a year off.
Yeah.
You need to coach for at least 2-3 seasons. He's 72 in April. I don't know if he can take a year off.
I tell you, we saw it here. The game has passed the man by. And if he doesn't want to take a step back and employ coaches around him to help with the modern game,
If he just stuck with defense.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Get a good offensive coordinator. You handle the defense, because he did a lot with our defense, minus our 2 best players. I mean, they were holding teams to 10 points a game in today's NFL.
Yep.
He's done it for years, though. He's made guys into a star here,
Right.
and then they go into free agency,
And they're
they
terrible.
get paid big, and then they turn out to be nothing wherever they go.
Right.
So apparently Seattle's out. I didn't realize they hired a coach. Who did they hire, Tony? Who's the?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the Lions offensive coordinator said he's staying in Detroit, which was interesting because I thought he was a leading candidate for one of those jobs.
I think he wants to run it back with the Lions.
Yeah, he likes playing. He likes dealing with Goff, and I mean the offensive talent on that team's unbelievable.
Yeah. And he might like Dan Campbell, too.
Yeah.
And he might have kids that are in a school system that he's comfortable with. Like, sometimes people get offered jobs and people go, why didn't he take it? I'm like, you don't know, like, his life situation. You know, what if he has a special ed student in a classroom that the kid finally, like, fit into, you know? So there's always things outside of football that we never really consider.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to touch base on today? You know, I'm disappointed that the L train's not on with us tonight.
Yeah, he only shows up once a year now, apparently.
What I wanted to talk about is how about that elite Baltimore Ravens middle linebackers who got abused by Travis Kelce. He got whatever he wanted. And if you're going to be elite,
I think just the fact that they're pretty good linebackers on Baltimore, everyone just assumes they're elite because Baltimore is always known as a good defensive team. But let's not give them credit for what Ray Lewis did 20 years ago, right? These are players playing now. Dave, you should listen. And what Ray Lewis did 20 years ago has nothing to do with what these guys do.
Exactly.
But they get lumped into the same category, which is ignorant.
and it was just, I mean, Travis Kelce.
He was wide
Say
open
what you
all
want.
game long.
He got himself over. He beat the guys off the line. He was making key blocks for Pachinko in screens, which everyone says that obviously
Pachinko.
Kelsey doesn't do.
Are we calling it Pachinko now? Wasn't that the game on like The Price is Right? It should be Pachinko. What do they call him? Pacheco?
Pacheco. Yeah.
He calls him Pachinko.
Yep. But I mean,
He butchers all names.
yeah. But if you're going to be an elite team, you can't let Kelsey get off for what he got off.
Yeah.
I mean, he did whatever he wanted to.
11 targets, 11 catches.
And they were half of them were drive extenders.
Yeah.
You know, they were 3rd and 7.
Yeah, big
Bang,
throws.
catches
Yeah.
it, and they were, some of them weren't even the best balls. And those hands, he just brought it down. So apparently Seattle hired Mike McDonald. I have no idea who Mike McDonald is. The defensive coordinator from the Ravens. Thank you, Sean. There you go.
And it's Plinko.
Pinko?
Plinko was the game I was talking about on The Price is Right. So, all right. So we have Niners versus 49ers, part 2.
Yep.
Not this Sunday.
Nope, 2 Sundays.
Niners versus Chiefs, part 2.
Yeah. This Sunday is flag football.
Oh God, they need to do away with that. That's so stupid. Nobody's watching that.
I don't understand. Obviously everyone has these fixes. If they just took the Pro Bowl, right, and offered these guys big money incentives, which the NFL has, it would be a draw. Winning team gets $1 million. Defensive players, whoever can get an interception, $500,000. Sacks. They should incentivize
Trying to use
these.
the Mannings to draw people in.
Yeah. That's the only draw they have because the Mannings are funny. The Mannings
They are.
But
It's.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I'll tune in for about
You'll
15
watch it.
minutes.
You're not gonna watch it.
No.
So
So I'll watch it.
yeah, I don't know. I think football is maybe that one sport that you got to be careful. You don't want to have like a serious injury. You don't need these guys playing an extra game.
Robert Edwards
playing on the sand, blowing out his
Flag
knee.
football on the sand, blew out his knee.
Yeah. Career over.
Yep.
So
But I do enjoy. I mean, you guys don't enjoy the skills. I think those things.
I don't watch any of it.
No. I enjoy like the quarterback competitions and stuff like that. I wish they had some little bit bigger names in it. But last year, Mac Jones thinking it was a Super Bowl out there, which was enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And he still sucked.
Was it last year or the year before?
Two years ago. Yeah.
And
Well, unfortunately, this is the weekend for the NHL All-Star games this weekend too.
Yeah.
I can't get into. It's almost like this weekend is just. There's really nothing going on.
Yeah, I'll do the NBA All-Star game. I'll do Major League Baseball. I don't watch hockey to begin with, and I just want nothing to do with the NFL Pro Bowl.
No, it's completely gone.
Yeah.
It's literally the only reason I check it in is I just want
Just something to do.
Something to do. Watch it for a little bit, and then you watch it. Like I said, 10, 15 minutes. You're like, I've had enough. I'm checked out.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone.
All right, so should we do predictions now or wait until next week?
Next week I think we'll need a filler. Really need to dive in. We got 13 days here in between. 13 days from today.
I'm curious. Is Kadarius Toney going to play?
No, they left him. You didn't see the news of Kadarius Toney running out to the plane?
Yeah. He's coming out with.
Did you see that though? Healthy scratch.
But he's saying that the Chiefs lied about an injury, and that's why they left him off the active roster for the game. And it's like, no, it's because you drop balls.
How clueless is this guy? They did you a solid.
Yeah. They're trying not to embarrass you.
Yeah.
And here you are, like, hey, I'm healthy, I'm good enough to play, and they made up an injury. Like, no,
they tried to cover it that you're horrible.
Yeah.
That you weren't going to play.
Terrible hands, you have bad hands.
Listen, you're going to get a ring.
Just shut up.
For just being on the team.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut up.
You're not good. You ruined a lot of games for your team this year. So, yeah, I saw that story and had to laugh a little bit.
Right. And then one thing I want to touch base in is we finally have a offensive coordinator in New England.
Who?
Forget his name. I was hoping one of you guys knew it.
Yeah.
That's how irrelevant. But I'm pretty sure. I just like the fact that
It's someone outside of Josh McDaniels?
Josh McDaniels. We're going to get a defensive coordinator. We're going to have a traditional team next year.
No one really wanted to come here as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, we have nothing offensively. It's maybe the worst
No.
offense in all of football.
No, they wanted the guy from the Rams. He ended up going to Atlanta. They had their eyes on, I think, 2 guys that were lost and gone. And now, I don't even know the guy that we're stuck with. I mean, talk about doing no research for the show today. I think we were more concerned with getting the cameras and speakers right.
Right.
Maybe next week we'll have some better info.
I mean,
Well, and they hired the special teams today, not offense.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Right,
Traditional
right.
special teams. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that.
I did
You wouldn't
get
happen to
that.
have his name.
yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it looks like the kid that I'm kind of friendly with, hopefully he's going with Belichick if Belichick gets a job, because he's their current special teams coach.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Well, all right.
Young kid.
Wait, was he going to go to NBC with Belichick?
I'm thinking something happens, right? Like,
I'm not
With
doing it.
Washington, maybe?
I am taking a firm stand right here, hard that he will
Jake
be.
mentioned the Chiefs, which I did read something.
If Andy Reid retires?
Yeah, and I don't see that team wanting Bill in there. They're a team that has fun. They like to joke around, party.
So
I don't think Bill fits that.
now that Bill's gone, you start to hear everything come out, and that behind. I mean, people have talked about this forever. That Bill behind the scenes was not what we saw.
what do you mean? Yeah, well, you see clips of him at the Pro Bowl, and all these other guys from other teams, they like him.
Yeah.
So maybe I know what you're saying. Like, these guys don't want to be coached the way Belichick wants to coach. If he goes there, maybe we see more Pro Bowl Belichick as opposed to what we saw here in New England. But we're assuming Andy Reid is going to retire.
And that's the first thing to think of. Why would this guy retire?
Unless he has health issues, he's not retiring.
When he can actually break the record.
Oh, yeah. And probably should. The only problem is he weighs about 400 pounds, that he needs to get his weight in check.
Sean, that is one thing that I would love to see. I think Brady is going to be a horrible announcer, broadcaster, but I think it would be gold watching him and Belichick up there.
I don't think he's going to do it.
What, Brady?
Yeah.
I think Brady's locked in. He took the whole year off to perfect the game, and I think that's why you've seen a lot of Brady, the Instagram reels, popping up everywhere. He's trying to. I give it to him. He's trying to work
At first, I thought he was going to suck, but you know what? He's a perfectionist. He's going to be good.
I think
He's going to get better, and he's going to be good.
I think he'll be good. So I think the first couple of games you're going to enjoy it because he's going to give a little insight. But I think the problem that we're going to have with Brady is he's not going to call players out. Where Romo, Olsen, Aikman, all these guys will call players out for doing stupid things. He's got no problem calling the NFL out. But I think when guys are making bonehead plays and bonehead things, I don't think Brady has it because he doesn't want to.
He plays like very neutral, the nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that changes because he called out his own players. You would see him yelling at players.
Yeah, but never in front of these cameras or in the microphone.
Right.
Never.
So
and I think that's it because when he even talks about these, I mean, I get sucked into him. I like to get little behind the scenes and hearing Brady do these podcasts and everything, but he never calls out individual players.
I'm hoping that changes.
It's always, no matter what the negative is, like Lamar this weekend, he was talking about Lamar. They were just basically talking how we were talking, not winning the big game, and all he did was applaud Lamar. And I'm like, okay, there's your prime example.
Yeah.
Like, this is you don't. And I think that's going to be our thing. But if he was to get on the mic with Bill and call a game, that's must listen to, much watch TV.
Right.
The problem is they with like Brady and Mahomes, they talk about how hard it is to win football games, but those two make it look so easy.
Yeah.
The years that they've played, I mean, we've gone from watching Brady for 20 years, just keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you've got Mahomes, who's just 5 out of 6 years he's playing in the Super Bowl. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And the one, like I talked about earlier, the one that they missed out on the Super Bowl is because of not taking the points.
Is it 5 out of 6?
I think 4
out of 6.
4 out of 6.
Lost to Brady, lost to Burrow, right?
Yep, 4 out of 6. 6 straight conference championships,
okay.
4 out of 6. which is
Still
just
very,
incredible.
very impressive.
Yep.
No.
And if he wins this one, he's got a leg up on Brady. At 26 years old.
Oh, if you were to compare his start to his career to Brady's,
Yep.
you'd have to give the nod to Mahomes.
It takes this Super Bowl. If he wins this Super Bowl, he's got a leg up at this stage of his career.
Right, but if you just compared Brady 6 years in to Mahomes 6 years in, Mahomes is the better quarterback.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Touchdown wise, touchdown to interception wise. You're right.
Being able to make plays that Brady can't make.
Yeah.
You know, every throw that Brady could make, Mahomes can make, but Mahomes makes plays that Brady can't make, could never make.
Yeah.
And I know people hate to say it, but if Mahomes stays on track, doesn't get distracted, doesn't get injured, he is going to be the GOAT. He's going to be the best quarterback of all time. Keep that down. He's going to be the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
And I know people don't want to admit it, but like just the eye test.
Just enjoy it, people. Enjoy it. Yeah, it's just something that you got to see and enjoy Brady go through the whole career, just the best quarterback to ever play the game. And for a little while, you're like, oh, it's over. But now Mahomes is ascending. Enjoy it. You know, he's people want to hate on him because of his wife, because of this. But
No, his wife sucks.
Yeah,
but Giselle sucked too.
Yeah, she was awful.
Terrible human. And she's Brazilian.
Yeah, but
I don't even hate on Brazilians.
But what has, and if you put the two together, I'm sorry. I mean, I wasn't a big Brady fan. I thought Brady was very douchey. I don't feel that way about Patrick Mahomes. I think he's very likable. He's very down to earth.
I think second or third trimester Brady was a little douchey, and I attribute a lot of that to Giselle.
Yeah.
First trimester, second trimester Brady, no, not douchey. Third trimester, douche. But Mahomes very likable. Brother, absolute cocksucker.
No,
wife, douchebag.
Here's the thing: credit to where credit is due. Mahomes recognized that,
and
basically he X'd them both out of it.
Yeah, put a lid on.
Put them both, and you didn't hear anything from. You didn't even see his brother once, other than his brother this weekend hugging his father.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know. And Taylor Swift is the best thing that happened to that wife because they focus on her, and not the wife.
Not the best thing that happened to her because she wants to be the attention, and now that Taylor Swift is there, she has no attention. But and probably the best thing that could happen to Patrick Mahomes too, because it takes attention off his peckerhead brother who danced all over Sean Taylor's number, and Sean Taylor, rest in peace.
Yep.
Shouldn't have done that. And his
he did a lot of stupid things. He was with one of the most cringeworthy people. Oh, awful.
Yeah, terrible humans.
Yep.
And it's Patrick Mahomes seems like such a good guy. It's like, dude,
no.
Like, why would you, like, I don't know, his wife.
And I've said this before. I highly recommend watch the quarterback series on Netflix to get behind the scenes. You get Kirk Cousins, Mariota, and behind the scenes of Mahomes.
I was out to eat with a friend of mine and her husband yesterday, and she's a coach on our team, and they were talking about that. And I thought to myself, why the hell is Marcus Mariota on this?
I loved it because it showed him quitting and walking out on the Falcons. I mean, I hated that moment, but I'm glad that they captured that moment. They needed the three tiers.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota?
They needed the three tiers.
You could have Diamond Dave Robitaille up there.
You know?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is middle of the road.
Yeah, I get it.
So I think we should wait on the Super Bowl and really dive into that next week. That'll be our filler.
All right, sounds good.
And then for right now, I think we should talk about our beloved Boston Celtics.
Loving the music.
It's been a pretty good stretch, I think. I mean, we had let me take that back. I think for a moment I forgot about that Clippers game.
But every once in a while, it's a long season. Every once in a while, you got a stinker in there. So I'm just kind of letting that go.
Is that 2 in a row at home?
Yeah, Denver and then the Clippers.
Yep.
But they kind of came back and they won 2 games against 2 good teams. So I'm all right with that. It happens. It's
Timberwolves the top team in the league right now?
Timberwolves?
No,
I think we are.
We are. We're the top team in the league. Yep.
All right.
But I mean, last night we were up by 20-something points, 25 points, up 81 points in the first half, and again almost let us slip
Up
away.
81 points in the first half?
Put up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Put up. Let me adjust your headphones here. There we
No,
go.
thank you. Now we're good.
Put up 81 in the first half.
Yep.
And then
That's the nature of the NBA, though. It's
Yeah.
these peaks and valleys. And Indiana's a good
Indiana's
team.
a tough team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they play with great pace. Halliburton's a stud. They picked up Siakam. That's a good team.
Siakam was playing horrible until this game.
Right.
And he finally had it clicking.
Right, but remember when we picked up Derek White? It took him forever to kind of get in the flow of the offense.
That's who I wanted to get into. Derek White is the reason. Everyone loves Kristoff. Kristoff is a huge piece to this. But Derek White is the reason that we're going to win the championship this year.
You like how I segue you into that perfectly.
Yeah, because, man,
Talk about an assist.
the defense that he's playing, the stepped up offense. I mean, he is when he is called on, he delivers.
Yeah.
He locks down. That block last night was amazing, and not to undercut the next block where Tatum, but just I think what got me with the Derek White is he was playing in the middle of two defenders. And he was able to recover, get up, and swat that shot.
You know, it's funny. Derek White does everything that we wanted Marcus Smart to do, but without the drama, without the chaos. He's just a very solid basketball player. And I'd like to remind the people at home that initially, Mike Snellgrove hated that trade.
No, see, this is where it gets twisted.
It doesn't get twisted.
Jake, I was close on getting his name right. It's Kristaps, not Kristoff.
Jake, you should know already.
So Derek White. I love Derek White. We can go back to the audio. I'll dig back if I have to.
That was before our time.
It wasn't that I hated Derek White. I felt that we could have kept Josh Richardson and had Derek White.
Ooh, Josh Richardson.
And I think Josh Richardson would have been a great
I think he's
piece.
playing at the East Bridgewater
We
YMCA.
just played against him the other night, and he was scoring on us.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, the guy can still score. Coming off the bench would have been a great piece. It was never. I love Derek White. We've talked about Derek White in San Antonio before. I'm getting very defensive because other people have called me out on this. I go, you're twisting my words. I just felt that we could have got rid of the pieces that we got rid of. No, it wasn't Neesmith. It was
I know who you're talking about.
Schrader to them and kept Josh Richardson. I think back then, because
Do you think Popovich wanted Dennis Schroeder?
That was what pissed me off. Is they didn't offer him.
I don't know.
He would have kept him. He would have taken him out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But everyone forgets in that season we were flailing, and Josh Richardson actually it boosted his trade package. He was the consistent off the bench. He had a super high 3-point percentage because he was left open. I just think he would have been a key piece coming off the bench to help this team.
Yeah, I still wouldn't have won.
I think we would have done much better, and I just would have loved that piece. And it's not that I didn't like Derek White. I loved Derek White. I thought he was a great player in San Antonio. I was very happy we got him here. I just wanted them to keep both of those pieces.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, though, when you watch this year's team as opposed to our previous teams, over the past few years, we're watching, we're like, yeah, we have a chance to win. This year you're watching and you say, you know what, we should win.
Yeah.
We should win the whole thing. It's different when you have, like, mature, veteran guys filling up your role. It's just a good, solid team, and I'm happy that Josh Richardson was packaging that deal to bring Derek White over here, because he is an absolute stud.
But, so this Clippers game, all right, what worried me about this Clippers game is how these guys got their shots. All right, you had Paul George basically go whatever he want. Kawhi Leonard, those guys are going to be beasts, and it's going to be tough to stop those guys.
The only good thing about the Clippers, God bless you, is you only have to play either them or the Nuggets. Those are two tough teams, and I think we should walk through the East, especially with Milwaukee having its issues. And you only have to play one of those two teams, because both of them, I don't care what seed they get, I think those are the toughest two outs in the West.
And let's not forget, Daniel Tice ate us up.
Your boy.
Yeah.
You used to hate that guy.
No, I don't know where this comes from.
Oh, you hated that guy, because we traded Dennis Schroeder to bring back Tice.
Well, because I thought that was stupid.
But so what do you mean? Where are you saying I hated him? You just said it was stupid.
Hate's a very strong word. I very rarely use the word hate. I just was like, that's just a stupid trade. But coming off of the heels of that Heat win, I just didn't like our showing. I didn't like. I kind of felt that we were the old Celtics for a little while.
Came out flat. Came out
really flat. Came out still on that high of that win, and that's what bothered me. Those little things like that, I'm like, it's still there.
I think one thing this team needs to realize is you're the team that everybody's looking to play right now. So you need to show up every game.
Yeah.
And going back to Golden State when they were great. Don't worry about that. People were out to beat them every single night.
Yeah.
So you got to put your best performance forward, and I feel like that night they really didn't put any performance forward.
No, and I would like to see, because, all right, Jake, Chris Tops is going to miss a lot of games coming down the stretch because they want him healthy for the playoffs. I just want to see us play better when he's not there.
Yeah.
Because that's what worries me. We need to be able to win without him.
We also need another guy off the bench because Horford's starting, and then it kind of lessens the bench a little bit.
And that's what brings me to our next point, because you are segueing us excellent tonight.
Not even trying.
As the players that we are there talking about, and I believe the two top ones were, I'm going to destroy his name, but Saddiq Bey from Atlanta.
Okay.
Which I am.
He's kind of like a big.
Which I am a huge fan of.
Do you know his size?
6'7".
But he's physical though, right?
Physical, big piece, and I think that he is a he's young, a great pickup coming off the bench for us.
Yeah. Can he play the 5 at all?
Yeah, I mean 6'7".
I mean today's NBA, you can be 6'7".
Is that a trade, or is that he's going to?
Yeah, we can get with the trade exception. So we can get him. I mean, they're talking about like a Thaddeus Young who's too old for us. Couple other guys that I have no idea who they are, and I love the NBA, so they must be great. You got your Jeff Greens, your Xavier Tillmans, and then another guy that I really liked, C.D. Osman from Cleveland. Big guy. But he is perfect for this team because he can rebound, he can block, and he can shoot.
Is that the dude with the black hair?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hate that guy. This looks ugly. Very pasty white.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. I think we have too many white players on our team to begin with. Get me somebody with some color and some strength.
But the Saddiq Bey is, because he is a big body.
Yeah, I feel like...
And that's what we need.
We need somebody that can play this, even if it's a small 5. We need, because if Porzingis is going to be out here and there, Horford's 38 years old. I don't really want to see a lot of Cornet in the playoffs.
He's been playing good.
I know, but the playoff basketball, it's a little bit of a different game. Give me somebody that can play the 5, because I feel like...
Cornet.
It looked like he was chomping at the bit over here to get it on the Celtics. And I'm like, we need to stop the presses if Dave wants to talk Celtics.
I'm not a big Grant Williams fan. I know Snellgrove is, but he's someone that...
That's a man that I dislike.
You hate. But he's someone that could play the 5. So if we grab the guy like Bey, even if he's 6'7", but can play a little bit of the 5, I'd be happy with that. Yeah. Osman, I'm out.
All right. Fine. Osman, you're out.
Because Osman's kind of like fragile, kind of weak, right? He's kind of like a...
No, he's not fragile. He's not weak.
But he's not a big. He's not a big. He's more of like a wing.
He plays both.
Yeah, but he's not like... He can't get down. He can't cover a center.
He's not a Saddiq Bey. He's not a guy that can clog up the lane. No,
I want like a physical tough
guy. He's more of on the Chris Tapps, where he can get down low, get you block shots, grab your rebounds, and bounce out and make a shot.
Yeah.
So... But that's just a guy that these guys that we're picking up is not what we're talking about. What we want for the playoffs. This is just to get us over the hump right now. Get us over this funk. Get some guys some rest.
Yeah, well, we need a big because you're going to have to rest Horford. You're going to have to rest Porzingis. We need a big, or else we're watching Cornet play, and that's not great. What about the Portuguese guy? Let's throw him in there, Keita.
He's been playing a lot. He's been doing all right.
No, he's all right. He's limited in skill, just like every other Portuguese person out there, but he makes up for it.
Brings a lot of energy.
Yeah, makes up for lack of skill with hard work and hustle.
Yep, and that's what the guys that your Brissett, all those guys.
Yeah, I'd like to see them play a little bit more.
Yeah. Now, looking at the schedule coming up, I mean, it's almost like these guys should go undefeated. We're playing the Lakers. We're playing a banged-up Memphis. We're playing Atlanta. We're playing Washington. We're playing Miami. Then Brooklyn, Chicago, New York. I mean, this.
New York's tough. New York's won 9 in a row, I think.
But we've proven we match up excellent.
Right, but they have OG now, which they didn't have before. I think that's a good fit. But every other game, we should probably beat New York as well. Every other game, we should win.
Yeah, we should be racking up the wins right now. Getting to a point where
and separate yourself away from Philly and Milwaukee. Like I said, the only tough-looking game, especially in New York, that might be a little tough. But all the other ones, that should be a 7-2 run right there, at the very least.
100%. I mean, I'm looking forward to Thursday nights against the Lakers. Other than that,
you should smack them.
Oh yeah. But LeBron comes to play.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Father Time. He's not going to play 48 minutes. That team's not great.
Speaking of Father Time. Dave's Bruins minutes.
Tony's bathroom break.
Before I take my bathroom break, I think you guys are going to be very proud of me. I was at Walgreens picking up insulin for Diesel, and I ran into my friend. She was in line, and she's a big Bruins fan. And me and her, we talked a little Bruins, and I feel like I kind of held my own. For someone that hasn't watched a Bruins game in 47 years, I feel like I did all right.
This show's doing wonders for you. This show's doing wonders.
Yeah, I know, man. So, on that note, I'm out of here.
We're going into the 2-week break. On a high note.
I hate the 2-week break.
I really do. Yeah, it's and I feel like the Bruins is longer. Maybe not when it comes down to it, but they're still playing NHL games tonight.
Yep.
But the Bruins have been off since Saturday, so
I mean, Saturday was a great game. Racked up a lot of goals, 6-2. I mean, it was nice.
They own the Flyers, and the Flyers are they're in a little trouble right now with their starting goaltender, possibly, being charged with some stuff and might not be playing again this year.
Just a bunch of idiots. Ugh.
Yeah.
You can't blame it on anything else than just rich entitlement, think you can get away with anything, kids. That's the worst. And I hope if these stories, I mean, that you're reading about it are true of what they did.
I just don't understand how she got paid, and now they're, it's 5-6 years later.
I think someone leaked the story. I think once the story leaks, these teams can't bat an eye.
Yeah.
Bat an eye. They can't turn a blind eye. Yeah. Did you forget?
No.
What Dave's Bruins Minute is brought to you by?
Well,
you want to give the live read?
You're the speaker, so I don't know if
MD Sports Cards in Carver.
Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger sign for this, but
to break off from the Bruins, I highly recommend. I went down, checked the store out with Dave, met Matt, the owner there. This store is top notch. Small little store, but I mean, from going from the card stores around here and stepping in there, I mean, if you're going in there to buy cards, there's no better place because his prices were unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, even if you're not into that, and if you're looking at like the Pokemon cards and stuff like that, which my kids love, his stuff is cheaper than what we get at Walmart. Yeah. So I highly recommend checking it out. I mean, he's
very knowledgeable. You can talk to him. You can talk to anyone in there. They'll help you out with anything.
Puts things together if you want to get stuff graded. He's big. So check it out. Mention the show. With any purchase, there'll be a free gift. You got to mention the show.
Yes. Definitely.
All right, I put the link in the bio. We'll get much better at the live reads as we go.
So you said he helps people get their cards graded.
We send it out to. Go ahead, Dave.
PSA or Beckett.
Yeah, he's one of the few that will send cards out, and so if you do it yourself, you have to have like a minimum of 10 cards or something like that, and it costs you $200.
Yeah, and you got to prep the card. My buddy sends them out, and we've gotten our cards graded. But yeah, I think people are going to find a lot of value in that because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And if he takes that guesswork out of there for you, it's great.
You bring a card into them, they'll look it over and tell you if it's worth grading.
Right.
He's not just going to just take your money and throw it out there to get graded.
And from a guy that's used to be big into cards, I still love cards. I'm not big into it. My knowledge isn't there. I come to you guys. I've gone to local stores around here, and it's almost like they're a little bit... like they don't want to. They look at you now. They're not worried. I don't get any feedback. And walking into this store, I mean, I didn't feel like that at all. And then even just looking at some of the prices on like the cards, like the Tatums, the Swaymans, everything. I mean, I highly recommend to check it out if you're big into sports cards, or even just getting into it and want to get some stuff. Check it out.
In the Pokemon.
Yeah.
I guess if people,
Before we get to Jason's comment here, to keep going what we were doing, Jake brings up that Mike Rubio just got 20 years. 20 years for that. For the stuff that just happened.
Who's Mike Rubio?
No, that was
Any relation to Ricky?
Ribeiro. Mike Ribeiro.
Okay.
Sorry to Mike Rubio.
Right. Yeah, Ricky.
He was a player that was despised in the league. He played for Montreal. He played for Dallas. Just a piece of trash. And
Ribeiro, he's Portuguese.
I read the story. And I don't remember what it was that he did, but just a piece of trash. So,
what would you get? 20 years in jail?
Yeah.
He must have killed somebody. Did somebody die?
I tried to look it up, and there's a lot of. It didn't really come up real quick. We're not
20 years in this country.
Mike Ribeiro's not really a big name that you would talk about, but the Bruins. I keep hearing rumors that they're still pursuing, and I know why. I mean, Noah Hannafin with the Calgary.
Okay, you keep writing Rubio. You're not going to find it. His name's Ribeiro. Yeah, that's the wrong guy.
Who thinks it was?
R-I-B-I.
3 counts of SS. What's SS?
Social Security fraud.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you got to watch out for that.
All right, to get into Jason's, the Bruins are playing well, but he doesn't like their defense, which we've all complained about, and not convinced come playoffs, especially Carolina. And this is what I want to.
But I'm not. I don't have a problem with their defensemen. It's their forwards playing defense. They don't play good team defense. The defensemen are what they are. Sweeney's not going to move on from any of the ones that we've talked about in the past, Grzelcyk and Carlo, but he wants Noah Hannafin. He always has. He tried to trade 3 first-round picks for him back in 2015 when he was drafted. He comes out of, I think, BC, and he's got a chance to get him again. I just don't know if Noah Hannafin is the defenseman that puts them over the edge in the playoffs. They need to get bigger and faster and more physical for the playoffs, and that's not going to do it. But one thing I was reading the other day is that Lucic.
Type it in Rubio. It's not Rubio. It's Ribeiro.
That's what you're R-U-B-I-O.
So it is Rubio. So it's not Ribeiro.
It's Mike Ribeiro.
Okay, I can't find it. It's just when hosts destroy it.
Sexual assault.
But what I wanted to get into, Jason brought up especially Carolina, and before we got off the Bruins Minute last week, we were talking about that was a game that was really going to be a tough matchup. Carolina is one of those teams that we really struggle with, and we struggled hard with them that game.
And it'll only get worse in the playoffs because they turn it up a notch in the playoffs. And when they go and they make additions to their team, they add bigger, faster, more physical guys. And we don't. So, yeah, I say it all the time. I mean, this Bruins team, they're fun to watch, but they might make it out of the first round. They'll be lucky to, but they're not going to beat a Carolina.
It's all going to be matchup related of what they catch in the playoffs.
And I was starting to say,
before he cut you off, go ahead.
Lucic,
speaking of sexual assault,
has still not been released from the team.
No,
well, what a terrible look that would be.
Because they won't, because it's the Boston Bruins.
Because if he is found innocent,
which he's not,
he'll be back playing.
What a horrible look that would be, right? The guy beat his wife.
It's only a couple weeks away.
Talking about a horrible look. I'm looking up this
Ricky Rubio.
Thank you for. And now I got the Dallas Stars jersey on. This is not a Mike Ribeiro jersey. This is a Mike Modano jersey.
No, it's a Mike Rubio jersey.
But what he did is, wow. I mean, 20 years he's looking at it was for sexual assault, and it appeared not good. So.
And he's definitely Portuguese, because that's how you spell Ribeiro in Portuguese. Not a good look at all.
No.
Not a good look at all.
No.
We don't have many pro athletes, and when we do, They don't make the best of decisions. So, Mike Ribeiro, shame on you.
Well, yeah. Does that run in the Snellgrove family to butcher names? Because he's got Rubio.
Yeah.
I think Todd is giving me shit about my shirt. No, Todd, I'm bulking up. I'm weighing in at 197 right now. I'm bringing in the guns. Can you see them? Bam.
I think, I'm still waiting for the TNT t-shirt.
Well, not if Todd's going to make fun of it. All right, let me see this piece of paper. I'll give Todd a little chest bump, a little TNT chest bump. But yeah, the problem with being 5'8", Todd, is you don't fit into a lot of shirts. So you choose either a long shirt or a little bit shorter on the sleeves, and that's the life I live. What am I going to do? I can lose weight and drop down to about 180. Then I have all these self-esteem issues, and maybe that's what Todd wants me to be like, have self-confidence issues. So instead, I'm weighing in at 197, and I'm feeling pretty good. So we'll go with that.
Well, yes, it does follow the stereotype that we were just talking about a little while ago, Jake, with the punks. Punks isn't even a good word. We were talking about you missed it when you were
urinating.
The Canadian Junior Olympics.
Hockey team.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, the
five players that are back in 18. Did some things to a young lady.
Jesus Christ.
And they're just being charged with it now.
Is it a hockey thing? Because I remember the UMass Dartmouth hockey team had an issue.
It's that stereotype, Jake.
Am I not supposed to stereotype hockey?
No. That's what led us into the Mike Rubio.
Yeah, it's like, maybe it's a hockey thing. I mean,
it might be.
It's kind of nuts. You hate the stereotype, but like...
And lacrosse.
And lacrosse. Yeah, that was the Duke lacrosse.
Yep.
Maybe we're just stereotyping.
But I guess what happened was one of the players met this girl out at a bar. They went back to the hotel room. Things happened, I guess consensually between those two. But then he called 7 of his friends to the room.
See, if I'm going out to the bar and I'm getting all liquored up, I'm drinking my martinis, and I meet a girl, I don't want to share this girl with 5 of my friends. What the hell's wrong with these people? 7! Like, what the hell is wrong with these people?
I don't know.
God.
Yeah, I got no explanation.
Yeah. You guys live a married life. It's probably outside of your comfort zone.
But reading the report, it's just like, these guys, it's... Speaking, you know what? Can we segue into a little bit more of deplorable acts?
Yes.
Vince McMahon.
Oh my God. Speaking of what the hell's wrong with people, from what I heard, speaking of Amber Heard, Vince McMahon took a shit during a threesome.
Someone who worked for him.
God.
So you can look this up. There is the whole 67-page report is up against all the allegations against famous Mr. McMahon, against Vince. And let me tell you, people with money, absurdly amounts of money, think they have the right, which we've seen, to do whatever you want. And there's something missing. Because reading the report, I don't understand how this guy even talks to people, because like all the text messages were out, everything, it seemed like he didn't even know how to talk to girls. And like he would he'd have him lie with her, and I don't even want to get... I
want to know. I think they want to know as well.
No, it was just weird, because he would have her lie with him, and he would just he just want to hold her, and then it would be seriously like they were like he was like 9 years old.
So he might have
13 years old. The way he did.
He might have some some
deep-rooted issues
coming from his childhood. That doesn't sound right.
But this is
to continue with the money thing, right? I watched the Epstein documentary on Netflix. And he's another one that, every house that he owned had a room with a massage table in it.
Right.
And his friend, the woman, I forget her name, she would
Maxwell
bring girls over and go wait in that room. He'll be in a minute. And I mean,
it's creepy.
With the money he had so much power over all these people.
I'd like to believe that. Say I won Powerball and I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be that woke.
See, I think it's different. I think it's when you're And I don't want to say Vince was born with money, but
But they were whooped from the start.
Well, yeah, he was whooped some of the stuff, but a lot of the guys with money, like it's brought up having whatever you want, doing whatever you want.
God, but you want to do that? Like, I have no desire to poop on a girl's head.
And it's
kind of weird.
That is, I know, Tony's a little abrasive the way Tony's coming off with it, but that is how the story was written. When I went into Google, front page of Google had a picture of Vince McMahon, and literally exactly what Tony just said is what it said.
And I was talking to my brother, like Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, his wife Linda McMahon, who they all have their shit together. No pun intended. What an embarrassment.
Yeah.
And when they hang out with people, they're hanging out with like high-end people. It's like you have to show up now, and the world knows that your father took a poop on a girl's head. Like that is just weird.
No, and the worst is when you read it, there's a lot more to it, and I don't want to get into it on the air. Take a minute.
Why not?
Take 15.
Let's get into it. I'm not going to read it.
No.
I don't want to read it. I want to know.
It's worth the read.
I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. Can you give us one more thing that he did, maybe, or one thing that he said?
No, just with the whole pooping on her.
Was it soft?
No, he continued to make her like perform acts and to continue with everything after he went and showered with it still in her. With it still on her, and basically pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's not right.
That is
because he has money and.
It's just,
but because he has money, to me that doesn't even make sense. You have money, so this girl who has poop in her hair needs to perform fellatio on you. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No,
but she didn't do anything about it.
Still, it's just weird. It's just all wrong. It's all wrong.
I don't. Be careful going down that road.
Me?
No.
This guy.
It just
traumatized. You're gonna have to change your name. People are gonna come find you.
But it's just,
it's weird.
Reading that, this guy, his name should be taken off, everything. If this girl, and I just want to say it's all,
He also used WWE money to pay her, which he didn't even completely pay her. He was told he had to pay her $3 million, and he took $1 million out of the WWE money, not his own money.
I'll tell you what. I'll let him poop on my head for $3 million. I would. For $3 million.
Speaking of taking the poops on everybody's heads, our Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, you want to segue out of that as fast as you possibly can.
But this team, the amount of crap, the amount of poo that they're shoveling down everybody's throats with these players.
It's because they have money. People that have money, Dave said, they poop all over people.
Yeah, you just had Justin Turner, right? You couldn't sign Justin Turner. They're still in Duvall hasn't signed yet. These are crappy players.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're just saving money, and nobody could be looking forward to this season because
that's where the money is. Fenway Sports Group just invested $3 billion into the PGA Tour today.
Oh God! Yeah, who the hell cares about that?
No, it's just they're ridiculous, and it's not just the Boston Red Sox. I'm not a big soccer guy, but it was brought up on sports radio, and I started to look into it to see the validity of the comment, and they're treating Liverpool the same way. Those guys across the pond are just as
probably even more heated than we are
here.
Because at least we have the Celtics, the Bruins, and we have other sports.
Liverpool's normally a really good team, right?
Yeah. So they're tearing down two just historic franchises. Because Liverpool is a historic franchise.
Well, they're using those as two money makers to make more money in other places. That's it.
Yep. It sucks. It's absolutely awful. And I'm fully endorsing the boycott of the Boston Red Sox.
Absolutely.
And people will still go. That's
the problem. That's the problem.
Going to the games.
Yeah. And especially as they build up around Fenway with bars and things like that, which they got I think they got a grant to do. It's going to be like the thing to do. Let's go to the area, check out the game for 4 innings, and hit up all the bars. People are going to keep going.
Nope.
And they can keep putting mediocre talent out there, and it won't even matter.
Awful. All right. So, anything else exciting happened in sports last week?
Todd's ordering shirts. I think that's directed at me. Do I need sizes and color? No, I think I don't do as well as Vince McMahon, so I can't be pooping on people's heads. But I do pretty well financially. I can order my own shirt. Todd, thank you. Appreciate it.
He's asking what size and color.
For my shirt?
Yeah.
I'll order my own shirts.
Extra large black.
Extra large black. There you go. Does Todd, is he TNT?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Todd, I will take a large. I'll take a large. And does it have this logo?
He can do that, yeah.
I think this logo would go pretty good on red. Red with this logo, and then I always wear red on Fridays.
See, you asked him, now it's rolling.
Yeah. I always wear red on Fridays for the troops. Remember, everyone deployed, so that's a thing. Wear red on Friday, so I can wear this on Friday, red shirt, and then I can post it on my stories, which grabs a few hundred views on Instagram. How do you like that?
That's wonderful stuff. Wonderful self-promotion.
Yeah, and then maybe we can all wear the red shirt one Thursday, and then we can make the post on Friday.
That works.
Yeah?
All right.
All right.
Okay, wonderful.
So
all right.
What else were we talking about?
So last week we talked briefly about, or 2 weeks ago, TV shows, and I happened to finish a movie called Saltburn.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you, this movie, Dave watched it, not a big fan of it, but apparently a lot of people out there are a big fan of it.
It was a decent movie. It was just very strange.
Yeah, it's about a young kid. I forget. It's across the seas. Goes to college. Kind of in Oxford. Kind of an outcast. Finds the popular kid. Befriends the popular kid.
Is he gonna poop on his head?
No, but
some weird stuff.
All right.
And I mean, the overall movie, I mean, I thought was pretty good, but it definitely has these moments that is why I see all the Instagram reels and TikToks and everything, some noteworthy moments. But I thought the overall movie, especially the way the ending and everything that happened, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
It was. It just, some of the weird stuff was a little much for me.
Directed by Vince McMahon.
It could have been.
Tony, if you ever watch this, you would. I know you're not.
I'm not going to watch it.
But if you ever watched it and you'd be like, okay, these comments made sense.
All right.
I think you should check it out.
No, is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
Prime?
I
don't know. One of
What's that,
those
Amazon?
things.
Amazon
Yeah.
Prime? I got it.
No, I've been watching a lot of shows lately, so I've finally gotten this down where I want to get on the treadmill every day. It's hard to get on the treadmill every day, but that's the only time I get to watch a TV show or a movie for me. So I feel that's how I get to watch all these shows.
What do you bring your iPad to the gym?
I bring my phone.
Is this something Leah would agree with?
Yeah. I bring my phone to the gym and put this on and watch, that's how I watch all my shows now. That's how I get caught up on everything.
He gets to watch what he wants to watch.
No, Dave, don't twist my words because Leah watches this.
Yeah, Leah wears the pants.
You know, I can't watch things at nighttime. I don't know if anyone else has this problem. If I'm going to lie in bed, I need the TV on. I need the TV on to be able to fall asleep.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't need the volume on. I just need the TV on. And if I put something on other than sports, a TV show, anything, I get sucked into it. And before I know it, it's 11:30, and I've started to binge watch shows. I can't do it. Like I remember we used to put like if Ed Law and Order would ever come on, like you can't put Law and Order on because I want to see who did it.
Remember that show, 48 Hours?
Yeah, that's it.
All of a sudden it's 4 in the morning. I'm calling in sick. Hey, call my principal. I'm not coming into work today. I'm not feeling good. Actually, I just watched 10 episodes of 48 Hours.
It's one of those shows that you can't just put on because as soon as you actually pay attention to it, you want to see how they catch the guy. And it's just, so at nighttime it's sports. But it gets me to get on the treadmill every day for a half hour because I know I get to watch my show.
You know what else you can watch while going to bed, and I often do this, is HGTV. Just like light talking, and you're watching homes, and you don't really care. You don't really get that into it.
No, because I want to see how much money they got for the house.
Okay.
I want to see. I want to see what they did to the house.
All right.
I want to see how that garden turned out.
Okay.
I want to see.
Just sports.
No, because I can drift off. I can actually watch a Celtics game or Bruins or basically any sports game intensely and still fall sound asleep.
Right.
It's just something about it.
I must say, Saltburn had me, like, I had to keep watching to see what other sick stuff this weirdo could do.
Oh yeah.
It was just like, all right, what's he gonna do next? Really? And then it just got worse and worse.
I mean, I can see why everybody's talking about it. This Saltburn, it's.
Dave and Chuck the Freak, I believe, were talking about it on their show,
Yeah.
and that's where,
Never even heard of it.
yeah.
Never even.
What, Saltburn or
Yep.
Dave and Chuck the Freak?
Both.
Yeah, it was a few people at work talked about it, and I'm like, ah. And then one of the gentlemen at work kept bringing up a couple scenes, and he was like, these things are grotesque. And I'm just like, it can't be that bad. And I watched the movie, and he nailed it.
It's that bad. It's that bad.
Nope. So is your Four Horsemen coming on soon?
My fault.
Aren't you watching the Horsemen, the old timer Horsemen show?
The Von Erichs?
No. You were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
The Horseman? What the hell is he talking about?
The Cowboy Bachelorette.
Oh, that starts tomorrow night. It's oh man, it's a reality TV show. It's what is it called? Farmer wants to get married.
Yeah, Farmer wants a wife or something.
Yeah, Farmer wants a wife. And we usually watch in my private fitness group. We usually watch some type of reality TV show, trash TV. So we have something to talk about
Not
outside
even
of
in your
fitness.
private group. It's in your
Oh, it ends up being on my personal page.
I
Yeah.
learn about these shows.
Yeah.
These trashy Bachelorette shows
Yeah.
from your page, and you get really into it.
I do.
Like my mother would listen. She's like, I can't believe Tony watches these shows, and
Yeah, if I go in, I'm all in. So I believe that starts tomorrow night, and we'll see. I don't know. I'll watch the first episode, see if it tickles my fancy. If not, maybe I'll watch that show.
No Celtics Lakers tomorrow night.
Oh no! So I can't. I gotta watch the Celtics Lakers. Yeah.
I would love it. I know you watch the movies, but if you, I just want to hear your reaction of the Saltburn.
All right, Saltburn.
I just want to hear your reaction.
Okay. Maybe I'll check out maybe the first 15 minutes of it.
No, you can't.
No.
It's not.
You gotta see the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's the first 20 minutes
middle's
is
when it
building
really
the story.
starts
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's it? An hour and a half?
Probably closer to 2, but
Closer
Yeah.
to 2. All right.
yeah.
But once it gets going, you're going to be like, I have to see this through. And that's what it was. Once that movie got going,
Yes,
I had to see it through.
that's for sure.
I had to see where it was going.
Yeah, it does start slow.
It's character building.
It's a
And
slow burn.
character building is usually very slow.
All right.
But, yeah, the Saltburn. So, we'll get your review next week.
All right. Consider it done. Saltburn.
All right, and on that note, we will see you
We are
Dave, you want to hit the button?
next